What about the evil Rat King lair that they eat the corn, so we have to get rid of the Rat King. And the only way to do it is with a grenade hit from a baseball bat.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. Award season is heating up, and we here at PBL, we are still waiting for our nomination for, well, anything. I'll take any nomination. I'll take a Razzie nomination at this point, and I don't even like the Razzies anymore, but whatever. Emmy, Daytime Emmy, whatever you please. We're waiting. Our mailbox is wide open because it doesn't exist. We're both a little under the weather for different reasons and everything, so we should be hosting this show under a medical tent, basically. But we're going to power through for you people. We're doing it for you. Because some big news came out earlier this week. Oscar nominations dropped last Tuesday, so we're going to talk about them. I kind of went through, jotted down some of my biggest surprises, just notes, things I found surprising, and whatnot. So let's just kind of go through the list, and feel free to interject, Mr. Meyerberg, with whatever you're thinking as well. Right off the bat, Best Actor, not a lot of surprises in that nominations list. However, fun fact, Brendan Fraser gets his first ever Oscar nomination for Best Acting. The revolution has begun. Fraser's coming back. He's blazing the trail, baby.
Yes, and I just watched a video of him surprising some people over in, I want to say London. I don't remember where it was, but they were doing a back-to-back screening of The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, and he just like popped in and was like, "Hey, thanks for coming."
Why does that ever happen here?
Yeah, and
why can't I watch The Man from Otto and have Tom Hanks walk in?
Just show up. I really want to see The Whale. I'm going to make it my mission, to see this film before the Oscars, because I've heard such good things for so long. It's just I have to watch it before, or else I'll be.
It's good to set goals.
Yeah,
good to set goals. In the Best Actress category, Michelle Yeoh gets a nomination. This is not surprising. However, one thing that I did read that is a little surprising, and I'll have to double check and fact check this. She is the first Asian woman to be nominated for Best Actress since 1935.
Ooh.
I don't want to do the math on that, but that's a long, long time.
Yeah.
Since last time. Man, I'm really under the weather. That didn't make any sense. So yeah, it's cool to see her getting recognition still from that movie. Well deserved. I'm pretty sure just about everyone got nominated for that movie when I looked through that list.
Yeah, when I was looking through it, it was up there.
That movie overall got the most nominations, I think, than all the movies. So.
Do you remember how many it was?
I think it was like 11. Might have been more than that.
That's how many Return of the King won. Was 11. So.
Did you just set me up?
I did
to say that.
Hook, line, sinker, baby.
Well played, Meyerberg. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Actress in a supporting role, Angela Bassett gets the nomination, and this giving MCU its first Oscar nom for acting. Still didn't beat DC to it, though. DC got Oscar nomination first with Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. Yep. So still just trailing behind the DC as per usual, like I always like to say. And that's definitely not going to tick off any of the fanboys out there. DCEU won an Oscar first. I'm just saying. For Suicide Squad, best hair. That's not me making it up. That's just the facts. You don't like it? Go home, Snowflake. Animated feature film. Once again, this just showed how weak of a year it was for animation. I mean, I hope Pinocchio takes it, but you never know. Pixar usually has a pretty good track record. I could see Turning Red maybe getting it.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Pinocchio yet. I've seen most of Turning Red, and some of the other ones. Like, really, that's nominated?
Like Sea Beast,
a lot better than I
forgot
thought,
that came out this year.
Yeah,
what the heck?
Yeah,
The only other upset I could see in this is Marcel with the Two Shoes. This was a smaller, kind of flew under the radar animated film, but got a lot of praise when it came out. So I could see that one kind of being an upset pick here, but it's probably going to be Pinocchio, let's be honest. Cinematography, I got to talk about a snub here. How did The Batman not get this nomination?
I know, exactly.
Go ahead. No, you go first.
No, The Batman was so good. It was so dark. It was so gritty. One of the best opening scenes, I thought, in a very long time, and that was all off cinematography. All of it. The whole just eeriness of the film. I don't know how it didn't get nominated, but
my problem is, so The Batman did get some nominations in some other categories, but when I look at some of those categories, I was like, really? Got nominated for this one, but not cinematography?
Yeah.
Like hair and makeup? Really? He's in a mask most of the time.
Yeah.
Did they get the makeup nomination just because you finally see the eyeliner underneath the Batman mask?
I don't know.
Which is something we've never seen in a Batman movie before. Yeah. Maybe that's why, I guess. I don't know. Costume design I would get, but I don't even think
that.
Yeah.
And like the Riddler costume, awesome.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, everything's shot so beautifully. I don't know why this doesn't get cinematography. I really don't.
No.
But speaking of costume design, that is one of the next categories I'm going to talk about here. Do agree with most of these. Miss Harris Goes to Paris, however, is this is its only Oscar nom. Mm-hmm. I guess when you have a movie about making a dress and buying a dress and everything is surrounded with dresses and literally takes place in a dress shop, you're going to get an Oscar nom for costume design.
Yep,
you better. Just gonna.
It would be bad if you didn't.
It'd be really embarrassing.
Yeah.
International feature film, All Quiet on the Western Front is among the nominees in this. It's also nominated for Best Picture. This, I thought, was kind of, you can basically cross this out now for Best Picture running as far as winning, because more often than not, they nominate for Best Picture as well as Best International Film, but usually they give the Best International Film award to it, and then they're like, well, we already gave you that award. We're not going to give you two.
We're not going to give you two.
However, in the past, it has happened where it's gotten both, because I had to double check this. Parasite actually very recently won both.
Yep.
International feature film and Best Picture. So don't quite count out All Quiet on the Western Front. Don't mark it off as a loser in this one like I did. And then let's talk a little bit about the musical categories. I actually got a couple thoughts on these categories. Music original score nominations, Babylon. One of the few nominations Babylon got, which I'm a little surprised about, because usually the Oscars love when directors talk about old Hollywood or talk about making movies, and that's all this movie's about. I think the category or the Oscar committee saw the first 10 minutes of this movie and checked out, which I get. If you've seen the first 10 minutes, you know what I'm talking about, but the rest of it's very good until like the last 20 minutes, and then it gets a little weird again. But it did get a nomination for Best Original Score, and I do agree with this because I saw this movie a little over a month ago, and it's still stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I literally can hum it.
Did Bob's Burgers get on there?
No nomination for Bob's Burgers.
Snub. Loved Bobby B's. It was great.
No, nothing on the animated category, score, song, nothing.
The music in there was awesome. The songs that they made, very catchy.
Yeah, it was all right.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Let's take a quick moment here and talk about the Marshall 6 Theater here in Marshall, Minnesota. January is known for two things, cold temperatures and some not-so-great movies. But that doesn't mean you can't check out the Marshall 6 Theater, where they have some older 2022 movies that you can maybe check out again or watch for the first time if you missed them. And all their theaters are kept warm and toasty, so be sure to stop by and warm up, catch a flick, and get some great concessions over at the Marshall 6 Movie Theater.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Also for music original score, John Williams gets a nomination as well. I find this funny. He announces his retirement. He says he's out of the game. He's done. He gets the nomination, then he's like, JK, I'm sticking around. I'm not retiring anymore.
No, I could cash in on that next year.
I'm wondering, now this is speculative. I don't know. I'm not trying to put any conspiracies in anyone's head, but I'm wondering if he announced retirement to kind of garner buzz for the Academy to not only nominate him but for him to win as well.
Yeah.
Because I was looking into this. He has 39 total Oscar nominations for his work in scoring movies. He has won 5 times out of those 39, but his last win was 29 years ago in 1994. It's been a while, and this is still one of the best composers we've in the business.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was like trying to be like, oh, I'm retiring, give me my Oscar, which kind of doubles as a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. And then he'll still get a Lifetime Achievement
Award. He'll still get a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yep.
And then he was like, nah, I'm sticking around. I'm going to still score movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a theory.
Interesting.
This is just a theory. Take it as you will. Looking at music original song. Okay, so there's good news and bad news in this one. Good news is the movie RRR gets a nomination for Best Original Song. Bad news, this is the only nomination for RRR. I feel like there was a lot of build-up for this movie.
There was.
Because Critics' Choice, Golden Globes, there was a lot more nominations than just one for this one.
Yeah, because it was up for Best Picture in some of those, wasn't it? Yeah, so I was kind of thinking that it had a chance of being put up for Best Picture, but still, you're nominated for an Oscar.
It's not even up for Best International Film.
Yeah.
It's not even in that category.
Yeah.
This I'm going to call this one a snub as well.
Yeah.
Even though I got one Oscar nub, I'm going to call it a snub. But let's move into one of the bigger categories, Best Picture. Not a lot of surprises on this one. Woman Talking was kind of a late stage play towards the end there. But Triangle of Sadness, one of the ones I have not heard of.
Yeah, I just heard about it maybe a couple of days ago when they announced these. Somebody was talking about it, and before then I had no idea. No idea. So I don't know. I'm just mad The Northman was not on there anywhere.
Now you're getting ahead of me here.
All right.
You're getting ahead of me. Let's not read the outline, bub.
Yeah.
But finally, let's talk about the visual effects category. Looking at some of the nominees here, Avatar 2 is going to beat them all.
Yeah,
you don't work on a movie specifically for its visual effects for nearly 2 decades and not win Best Visual Effects at the Oscars. To quote as the old saying goes, as far as the other nominees go, it's an honor just to be nominated.
Yeah, those other films, good luck, but
now
Avatar 2 is going to
if any of them do beat Avatar 2, that is a David versus Goliath story for the age. They should make a movie about that movie beating that movie in visual effects.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, but David wasn't supposed to beat Goliath either.
That's true.
Just saying.
Then they can do a South Park where James Cameron raises the bar, and then somebody else raises James Cameron raising the bar. That would be great. But I found the bar.
But you already alluded to it. Let's talk about what we think are some of the biggest snubs. I kind of wrote down as a prediction for you what you were going to say. Northman, no nominations.
No nominations. Original screenplay, anything. Absolutely a travesty. In my opinion, I loved this film, and of the films that I've seen this year, my favorite. And in my opinion, one of the best. Maybe not the best, but it should have been up in the talking about it. Now,
I'm not on as high on this movie as you are, but I will admit there are definitely a few categories this one should have been put into.
Yeah.
It should have been put in some, like, maybe some best supporting character categories at the very least. Cinematography.
Yep.
I mean, that landscape is beautiful. That final fight kicks the butt off of the Revenge of the Sith lava fight.
Oh, 100%. That lava fight is way better than Revenge of the Sith.
It's better choreographed. It looks better. It looks even if you're like not into this movie at all, That ending, that final fight looks incredible.
It does. And now I'm probably going to watch it tonight because we're talking about it and I want to watch it again. That's my biggest pain with it this year's Oscars.
You will avenge this movie.
I will.
I will avenge you, Northman.
I will avenge you.
I will kill you, Oscars.
Yeah.
I will save you, Golden Globes. I will avenge you, Northman.
That's it.
That works. That works.
That's it.
Some of my biggest snubs that I noticed, no nominations for The Woman King or Nope. These were two movies that were in like my top 10 that I thought should have gotten some recognition here. Again, with like The Woman King, like you don't give that one at least best costume design. The Oscars love historical movies, like historically accurate costumes and everything. Miss Harris Goes to Paris. You know, we talked about it being in costume or whatever. Get out of here, Miss Harris. Like, those costumes are great.
Yeah.
Cool. Dresses. Awesome. Though that was authentic battle armor and stuff that they made for that. No supporting actors. This is where one of those, like, best, like, fight choreography or stunts should be, like, a category. Mm-hmm. Not only because, I mean, Top Gun Maverick did get some other nominations here. We didn't really talk about that. But like the fight sequences in this are spectacular. Like some of the best I've seen was in that movie. And then to not give Nope any recognition for any of the visual effects, for any of the acting that was in that. Fun fact with Nope, they came up with a camera like style or lighting where it looked like it was nighttime, but in reality they were shooting in the daytime. No nominations for that?
Yep.
That's inventive. That's reinventing cinema, people. Nothing. The Academy looked at that movie and when asked, do you want to give them any nominations? They were like, nope.
Nope. That was good.
Got 'em.
That was good.
All day.
Look at you.
Out of the park. Even when I'm sick, still hitting homers. But yeah, like as usual, we look at these every year and we hate most of them. We agree with some of them. Nothing's going to change.
Nope.
It's the same thing every year. But we still look forward to the ceremony coming out in March. Yes. And we look forward to our usual bet where we try and bet and pick the correct amount of winners. And I am planning on pulling a Michael Jordan and hitting a three-peat.
Yeah, well, this one could be interesting. Some of the films that I was really anticipating were going to be on there weren't, and that means the ones I like didn't make it. Not all of them, obviously, but so we'll see.
I will say I have a bit more of an edge on you because I was talking about how usually when the Best Picture nominations come out, I usually pick the wrong movies to watch beforehand, so I'm like behind. So like I've only maybe seen 2 or 3 when they come out, and I've only got like a couple months to catch up on like 8 of these movies that are hard to find sometimes.
Yeah.
I've seen 5 of the Best Picture nominations already,
and
I have the ability to see 2 more this week. So I'm on a head start.
That is a good head start.
I've got an edge. I'm coming to battle.
What's the other one you're gonna watch?
All Quiet on the Western Front is on Netflix.
Yep.
So
True.
Check that one out.
I just need to find the whale.
Yeah, we got to find the whale.
We got to find the whale.
Hey, we talk a lot about movies on this channel, but sometimes the ones we talk about aren't the most accessible. That's where the Marshall-Lyon County Library comes in handy. They have a great collection of physical media, as well as a couple of online services with many, many options for movies, TV shows, and documentaries. It's easy. Just get your own library card at the Marshall-Lyon County Library and gain access to their large variety of movies, TV shows, and of course, books. Also, be sure to check back every month as we here at Popcorn Bucket List make specific movie recommendations based on a monthly theme. This month, we take a look back at some of the best movies of 2022. So head on over to the Marshall-Lyon County Library for some of our favorites and check out the channel to get even more movie recommendations. And now, on with the show!
But with that, let's move into the weekly preview, talk about what movies are coming out this week, in case you don't want to catch up on Oscar-nominated movies and just want to see some other stuff. We're talking about Friday, January 27th. All of these are coming out on this day. First things first, it's Fear. This one's coming to theaters. creepy cabin in the woods with a bunch of friends go hang out for the weekend. Scary stuff ensues.
Yep. The classic.
Like, I could write a script like this in a weekend.
Oh, let's talk about what you're afraid of, and then that happens to you?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Original.
It's not a good sign when your scary movie trailer is more annoying to me than scary.
Yeah.
Like, throughout most of the trailer, there's this one guy trapped in a room, and like for 75% of the trailer, you just hear him scream, "Let me out!" And I'm so annoyed at him by the end. I'm like, "No, you're staying in there.
You're staying in there.
I can't. No, you're staying in
Until
there."
you turn that attitude around,
Yeah.
you're staying in there.
I need a little bit more positivity. I'm not digging your vibe right now. You need to chill.
Chill.
10 minutes of silence, and then I'll let you out. You're in timeout now, bud.
No, it's a classic scary movie.
It's a January horror movie.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for here.
Yep.
Speaking of a January horror movie, we're going back to back with them.
Yep.
Infinity Pool also coming out in theaters. I say this is another January scary movie, but at least this one stars Mia Goth.
And Alexander Skarsgård.
Yes, and Mia Goth, who is going for a scary movie hat trick by starring in 3 horror movies within a year. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
She's good.
She did great in the first 2.
She's good in Pearl.
Yep.
She's good in X. I look forward to Maxine, the 3rd movie in that little trilogy.
Yep.
She looks good in this one.
Yeah.
But this movie, it gets trippy.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
It looks it's like a clash of a couple of films. I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but I've seen movies similar to this where they can make the body doubles and stuff. So it's just a new take on that. But I think it'll be cool. I like Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth a lot. So
Trippy looking movie. Terrible title.
yeah,
Infinity Pool. What does that mean?
yeah, and
It almost sounds like some like spinoff of like Infinity War. It's like it's a bunch of kids playing Infinity War while they're playing inside of like a hotel pool or something like that. I don't know. I just 5 more minutes on the title is all you would have needed.
and maybe even 3 more minutes would have been fine.
They should have just titled it "This One Stars Mia Goth 2."
Yeah.
That's the only reason you're going to see it anyway.
Yep.
Would have been a little bit wordier, but would have gotten the point across.
Yep.
But let's get out of the scary movie genre and move into some comedies here. Coming out on Amazon Prime same day, Shotgun Wedding. Everyone worries that everything is going to go wrong on their wedding day. This movie proves it could always be worse, as Jennifer Lopez and Josh Duhamel star in this wedding comedy where the ceremony gets raided by pirates.
Pirates.
And we're not talking about like a football team or the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're talking about actual pirates.
Actual pirates.
Who invade the wedding.
Yep.
This movie's absurdity is what is actually drawing me to it.
Yeah.
And if it can kind of keep that tone, keep that tempo throughout the whole thing, this could work. If it's only absurd for like those few minutes when like the pirates show up and then it's just kind of grounded or whatever or doesn't live up to that absurdity, it's going to fall flat.
Yeah.
Which is very hard to do. It's kind of like if you're a runner. If you can sprint really fast for a short amount of time, that's cool if you're making a short film or a short distance run. You got to keep the endurance up on a long distance run, though. You got to keep that speed.
It's a good way to put it, Nick.
Thank you.
Because, like you watch the trailer and right away it almost plays it straight. And then it gets into the, oh, you invited your ex-boyfriend and he's got basically a shirt off. And he's like, what's up? I'm ready to party. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then all of a sudden with getting the dress fit and then there's a grenade thing and there's zip lining and they're tied together, then they're not. And it's like lighting people on fire. It's like, okay, if this is going to be like wild, it better be wild the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, if it can hold that tempo, it's going to be good.
I wish my wedding was a little more like that. That would have been pretty wild. That would have been pretty cool.
You wish you had thrown a grenade at your wife and she would have hit it with a bat towards a pirate?
Yes. Actually, that sounds awesome.
You know what? I wish that would have happened too.
That would have been so cool.
That would have been sick.
Yeah. Hit into the cornfield and
well, not the cornfield. That's a farmer's livelihood. It's going to start a fire.
In the...
Sorry, the boy who grew up on a farm just kind of showed up there for a second. Also coming out that same weekend, You People, coming out to Netflix. Jonah Hill, Lauren London, Nia Long, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and last but not least, Eddie Murphy, all starring in this comedy. I know it's only January, but this might be one of the best cast comedies of the year, in my opinion. A mixed-race couple have to find a way to get their two very different families to get along as they prepared for a married life. Do you remember in 22 Jump Street the scene with Jonah Hill where he discovers the girl he's dating is Ice Cube, a.k.a. his boss?
Yep.
And the awkwardness and the funniness ensues?
Yep.
Top 10, one of my favorite experiences in a movie theater, by the way. Packed house, laughing hysterically with everyone. It's like that, but the entire movie.
Yep.
And this
Do you
is
think
why
the idea for that film was born out of right there?
Well, it was co-written by Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he thought of that or something, possibly. But I'm so looking forward to this. We talked about in the last movie, I hope the tone that it's going for in Shotgun Wedding is consistent throughout the movie. And the fact that I'm questioning it means the trailer maybe isn't showing it that well. This movie, I can almost feel it. Like, you can tell that awkwardness, that humor is going to be throughout this entire movie. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But just getting the vibe from this trailer, like, it just seems like there's going to be that level of awkwardness throughout it, and they're going to find new ways to make jokes out of it throughout the whole time.
Yeah, it looks funny.
Also, Eddie Murphy. His comeback, he's been trying for the past few years.
Yep.
It's been a little rocky. There's been some highs. When he hosted SNL again, after how many years? That was a high. There's been some lows. Coming to America too. I hope this is a good step in the right direction. And it looks like it.
I do too. He looks a little more jacked, a little more ripped.
He's also kind of doing a little different Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's usually kind of known as being loud, the center of attention, drawing everyone in. Here he's a little bit more stoic. He's a little bit more serious, but he's serious funny, which is, I feel like, is not an Eddie Murphy we see very often.
Yep.
And I'm glad to see him trying something new here too. But that is everything coming out this weekend. It's time for some number one recommends. I guess I could say I have one, but I feel like I've recommended it in the past, whatever. I've been kind of sick these last few days, so I've been taking a few sick days. I've been watching Seinfeld pretty much the whole time.
Ah, very good.
Well, I've been watching a few episodes, and then I'd kind of fall asleep for an hour, and then I'd wake up, hit play again, watch a few more episodes, fall asleep again. And then the pattern, that was my last 48 hours. So I guess the soft recommend is Seinfeld.
Oh,
take that as you will. Mr. Meyerberg, what do you got? What's recommend you have?
So I'm recommending Untold, the Project Flagrant Foul on Netflix. It tells the story of Tim Doughty. I don't even know how to say his last name, and I watched this whole thing. It's about the... how do I want to say this? The game fixing of the NBA in the late 90s. It kind of deals with him and his two partners and how this kind of happened, how it got connected to the mob, and that's the only real reason why people found out about it. And it was just a very interesting story. It's only about an hour long, and it kind of goes over him because I had no idea. I didn't really know about this, but if you were like my parents, like my dad knew who he was, my parents, they remember, and that it kind of maybe is accusing the NBA of doing some shady stuff. So if you're a basketball fan or even just a sports fan or a betting fan or gambling or like to bet money on games, then it's a interesting look at the official side of basketball and just kind of see how it plays out. It's really good.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. If you have any of your own movie recommendations, as per usual, be sure to let us know in the comments down below. And for myself and Kamehameha Mr. Meyerberg, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.